You know, life can be tough, real tough. It's a sequence of intense moments at times. Sequence means, you know, in order. And sometimes these intense moments happen back to back. And sometimes you find yourself and you just don't know what to do. Sometimes you just want to scream and rage and be upset and just make you want to spit sometimes, you know? There's a lot of bad things that happen in the world. I mean, take our current situation, for instance. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are sick that really have no business being sick, and they are. You know? And with all those bad things that happen, me personally, it just doesn't make any sense not to be kind to people, doing nice things for people, saying a kind word. It's very easy to get bitter about life. Very easy. Kindness is a choice. You have to wake up every morning and choose to be kind to people. Which is why that's one of our 5 B rules here at the club. There's be kind, be safe, be in control, be respectful, and be responsible, right? You know that. I tell you that every single day when you're here at this club. But being kind is probably one of the most important things that you and I need to remember every single day. So there was this one time in the Bible, Jesus was being asked some questions. People always ask Jesus a ton of questions. I probably would have done the same thing. But they were asking Jesus, most of the time they try to trap him. Like, yeah, I want to get you. But this time I think the guy was pretty genuine. Because he had some, have you ever done something and you weren't really sure if it was right or wrong, but you still did it anyways? So then the expert in the law stood up and tested him, saying, "Teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life?" Jesus replied, "What is written in the law?" he asked. "How do you read it?" Well, the lawyer said, he answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself." Jesus said, "No, you've answered correctly. And do this, and you will live." But see, this is where it kind of, but what about, it says, but wanting to justify himself, he asked Jesus, "Well, who is my neighbor?" Jesus took up the question and said, and here's where it gets really cool. Jesus said, a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell into the hands of robbers. They stripped him and beat him up. A priest happened to be going down that road. When he saw them, he passed by the other side. That joker went on the other side of the road to get away from this guy that was beaten up and tore up from the floor up. And he says, when he saw him, he passed by the other side. In the same way, a Levite, when he arrived at the palace, saw him pass by on the other side. So this is 2 guys that see this dude who has been beaten up, probably bleeding all over the place, and like instead of like going and asking for help, they went on the completely other side of the road. I'll be honest with you. A little bit of honesty right here. I've kind of done that myself sometimes. Have you ever just seen something and you've seen someone be unkind to somebody and you just kind of look the other way? We tend to do that. So anyways, but a Samaritan on his journey came up to him, and when he saw the man, he had compassion. Compassion means that he had this deep care for this other person, complete stranger. He went over to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring olive oil and wine, and then put him on his own animal and brought him to the inn and took care of him. Now look, this is what he did. He said, "You know what? You can go ahead and drive my car, and we're gonna go over here. Well, not really, because I don't think he was very in good health, but he just kind of threw him over the animal, and like the animal took him. Let's go. So, and then the next day he took out 2 dinner. It was like money, denarii. I can't say that word. Is money, and he gave them to the innkeeper and said, "Take care of him. When I come back, I'll reimburse you for whatever extra you spend." Which of these 3 do you think proved? Now this is Jesus saying this, okay? He comes out of the story and he's talking back to that lawyer, and he says, "Which of these 3 do you think proved to be a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of the robber?" And the lawyer says, "The one who showed mercy to him," he said. And then Jesus told him, "Go and do the same." I get it 100%. Sometimes it's hard to be kind to people. Sometimes, like I said before, we kind of ignore it. And it just goes about our day, and we just tend to look the other way. But it pays to be kind to people. And I just want you to remember that. Think about this story. Think about maybe some times where you yourself probably gave up a chance to be kind to somebody. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, why should I treat somebody with kindness if they're being mean to me? Because 2 rights don't make a wrong. And I know you've heard that before. But it's true. I mean, how does the cycle end of being mean to people if everyone's just being mean to people? Somebody has got to stop and make a difference and change. Who knows? It might be you. Just be kind to people. That's all you can do. To your brothers, to your sisters, to your mom, your dad, auntie, uncle, cousin, your goldfish. Or maybe not the goldfish, because I don't really know if they have feelings or not. But just be kind. It will cost you nothing, and it will mean everything to the person you are kind to. There's your Crazy Jay moment of sanity for the day. Take it easy.